In a recent conversation in a car, we were speaking about nicknames and how nicknames, I wouldn't consider them a negative thing. I wouldn't consider them like an aspect of bullying. Of course, it depends. Maybe someone could be called something that they don't necessarily like. But generally speaking, nicknames, especially in Ireland, are actually a term of endearment. It means you're seen. A good friend of mine, when I was in primary school, we had hurling training on a Saturday morning. And so he lived at my end of town, which is the opposite end of town to the school. So he walked from where he was from the whole way through town with his, as Americans would call them, cleats, his football boots on him. So the spikes, but like walking on pavement. I mean, walked the whole way from home with his cleats on. Right. So then he got to the schoolyard for our hurling training, and then there we discovered that the more senior boys had the field, and we were practicing on the concrete yard. And he's wearing cleats, and only had cleats, only had football boots. So he slid all over the place. It was hilarious. So we called him Boots. And the name stuck. So much so that no one knows his name is William. Like the name Boots stuck. His brother then was a year or two younger than him. He got the nickname Socks. And it stuck. Everyone knows them as Boots and Socks. But again, it's not in any way kind of bullying or negative. It means the person is seen. They're seen. This funny event from their lives is seen. I think to be seen is so, so important. To know that we're seen by God. To know that we're seen by God. To know that those hidden sacrifices, those hidden tears, those hidden joys, those hidden moments of self-renunciation, those little occasions of which there are so many in community life. When you're walking through a community room or a conference room or any sort of a room around here and you see that there are cups there and you touch it and it's stone cold, the chances are the person isn't actually coming back for that tea. Oh well, someone will pick it up, I suppose, and on you go. Like, this is what it means to be seen by the Lord. It doesn't mean that the Lord is there surveying, checking off only the negative things that we do, like a kind of an annoying big brother or an invasive mom kind of thing, or like a speed van, right? Where they only see when you're speeding and when you don't get any reward for being under the speed limit, but you get a reproof if you're over the speed limit. So it isn't a negative thing, that it's only the negative things that are seen. All is seen. All is seen. All these hidden acts of service, your interior life is seen. When you choose to get up on time for rosary, when you choose to serve, when you choose to put the other's needs above your own, that's all seen. The contrary is also seen, where you couldn't be bothered to help the other, where you're tired, so world revolves around me, obviously, so I won't help, or I'll be the last to volunteer for everything and anything because my time is precious to me and no one is going to take it from me. That's seen too. So all is seen. So what we can do, I think what's a good thing to do, is to have a really positive attitude towards that. Lord, you see me and you know me. And you see when I'm in my hidden place, in my private room, I've shut my door and I pray to the Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees all that's done in secret will reward you. So this actually makes a difference. This actually makes a difference, that the Father sees us and wants to reward us. So all of these hidden sacrifices, all of these hidden acts of service, they all make a difference. Now they make a very practical difference in a place like this, or in a family. I remember I was visiting a family once, and their little daughter came home from school, and she opened the door, and she dropped her bag, and took 2 steps, and she dropped her coat, and then she took 2 more steps, and just tossed her shoes to the side, and then got into the couch and phone. Like a wake of destruction behind her. You know what I mean? Like just absolute chaos all around her. And then, Mom comes over, are you hungry? Yeah, maybe later. You ungrateful little sod. Clean up after yourself. I'm only the visitor, but clean up after yourself. Just don't do that. Don't create a mess around you for someone else to take care of. That's in a family. But it's also in any kind of a community. Just as you're walking along, you can be picking up and closing windows and doors and just making the place better so that what follows you is order. What follows you is order. You've ordered things as you've walked along. All these little hidden things. It's what makes community life so much easier or so much harder, depending on who you have in the house. But the Father sees it all. Now, these skills are absolutely transferable to family life. They're absolutely transferable to any ministry, to anything you do in the future. This isn't just do it because Father Patrick wants you to do it, or do it while we're here. This is learning virtue. This is learning service. This is learning to actually care about other people and do something about it, as opposed to I care in my head about them. That's nice. Whoopie-doo. I actually care so much, I'll actually serve. I'll actually serve. That's learning how to love. Because love sees the needs of the other. Love wants the good of the other. So this is why this gospel is so important, when it comes to prayer. He's not saying don't have any public prayer. I mean, Mass is a public prayer and he asks us to do it. Do this in memory of me. So he's not saying don't have any public prayer. All prayer should be private. He's not saying that. But he's saying that the intention behind prayer shouldn't be to be seen, shouldn't be to be praised. There was a man I used to meet on the way into university when I was studying in Rome. I'd go into St. Mary Majors in the morning. We had to get a train much earlier than we needed to, because the trains were regularly very late. So we had to get the 7:07 train, which 7:45 would have been fine, but it was never on time. So we used to get in pretty early most of the time. And this man would come over, his name was Alberto, and he showed, "Hey, Padre, come here." Well, I wasn't Padre, I wasn't a Padre at the time. But he said, what used to call me? I don't think he called me anything, actually. He just wanted to show me his list of prayers that he had already prayed that morning. Guarda. So 2 rosaries, 1 Divine Mercy Chaplet. I've also prayed at the hours there. Doing pretty good this morning. Doing pretty good. Why are you showing me? Great, well done. Pray for me while you're at it. But that's what matters, that the Father sees you. That the Father sees you. So our prayer isn't, while it needs to be public at times, it helps us to see other people pray or other people sing, that we can sing as well. That's not the problem. The problem is the intention. Am I doing this for love of the Lord, or am I doing this to win people's admiration? And that takes a bit of reflection, because sometimes maybe we're doing more than we believe, just because the superior, or just because they're responsible, just because my wife, just because someone else will be mad if I don't. But maybe there's a better reason to do the right thing. That our Father sees us. That our Father sees us. And we want to build up a home around us. We want to build up order around us. We want to build the other up. So we ask the Lord today to teach us, to help us, to show us the occasions, the many occasions that occur every single day, to serve him in hiddenness, to serve him in silence, to do something that we're not necessarily on a list to do, but because it's the right thing to do. And in so doing, may we learn to love and put the other's needs above our own. And your Father, who is in that secret place and sees all that is done in secret, will reward you. Amen.